Hey, church family, are you familiar with the hymn, "I Have Decided to Follow Jesus"? The third verse of that hymn says, "Though none go with me, still I will follow. No turning back, no turning back." A lot of people associate that song with the Billy Graham Crusades because it was typically played during the altar call when they were asking people to make a decision to follow Jesus. Maybe it's because I've never been to a Billy Graham crusade, but when I hear that hymn, I think of Joshua and Caleb. If you're familiar with their story in Numbers 13, you know that out of 12 spies who returned from spying out the land that God had given them to conquer, the majority recommended against obeying God and entering Canaan. Their evidence and arguments seemed convincing. The enemy had stronger armies, fortified cities, and physically impressive warriors. But in spite of all the things that their enemy had going for them, disobeying God is always the foolish choice. That's why Joshua and Caleb urged the people to obey God and to move forward. Joshua and Caleb based their counter-argument on God's commands and His promises. God had already promised success. The land would be theirs. It didn't make any difference how strong the enemy was. For you and me, when the feelings and choices of the majority go counter to what God has told us, the temptation is to respond in fear rather than in faith. Joshua and Caleb told the Israelites, "Do not rebel against the Lord, and do not be afraid of the people of the land, because we will devour them. Their protection is gone, but the Lord is with us. Do not be afraid of them." That phrase, "we will devour them," is literally, "they are bread for us." Or in today's vernacular, we'll eat them for lunch because God is with us. A lot of the temptations in our lives come down to a choice between faith and fear. I pray that when we face those choices, we'd remember that we can rely on God's promises to go before us and with us as we depend on Him. Amen.